So, hi honeys, how are ya? Tanya Nishailo here, and of course, welcome back to my YouTube channel. How are you guys? I hope that you are fine, amazing, popping, and all that other good stuff. If this is the first time you're watching my face over here, hi there, I'm Tanya Nishailo. I'm a Ugandan content creator. I create content around beauty, lifestyle, and money because I enjoy being financially healthy. So today, as you have seen from the thumbnail to the title, before that, please do consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell. Don't forget to support my channel through, of course, watching the whole of this vlog. We're remaining with something like 500 watch hours. If you watch this vlog, you're contributing to our main goal of monetization. Yes, so as you have seen from the thumbnail to the title of the video, today I'm going to be giving you my 5 businesses which I think, in my own opinion, that you can start up with 5 million Ugandan shillings, especially for Kadama and Sekadama. Kadama and Sekadama, they are terms that Ugandans invented for our co-brothers and co-sisters, or our brothers and sisters who move out of the country and go to work in other countries to establish a standard for themselves and also to uplift our country in form of taxes and all those other different ways. So they always go to Oman and Abu Dhabi, Doha, those Arab countries, to become nannies and housekeepers, and I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, because I know that they are doing it for their families, for our country, and of course for their future, and of course our future as a country. So I have 5 different options that I feel like I have to talk about, because I've been getting this question all along since I think 2019, when I did that video of Bye Bye Oman. I've been getting a lot of questions. Tanya, which businesses can I start up when I come back home, when my 2 years term are done for me working as a housemaid in Oman? So 5 million Ugandan shillings is around 1,500 US dollars or 2,000 US dollars, and hopefully I'll also put the euros on the screen currently. But without any further ado, let us just dive into the first business right now. It is boutique. Yes, so people who have traveled in and out of the country and people who have done businesses so far as myself, I would love you to invest in a boutique, especially clothing boutique. The capital would not go around or over 6 million Ugandan shillings or 7 million Ugandan shillings. The capital will be lesser than that. So I look at a boutique in terms of rent, because when you are going to open up a boutique, it's very important that you find the strategic location where you are going to be putting that boutique in particular. That place has to, or that area has to have a lot of people and slightly working people. That is the first point. The second thing you have to put into consideration, that is rent. So for rent here, especially for a boutique, it would go for around 350 to something like 400,000 Ugandan shillings. So the landlords, or if they need a down payment, so a down payment might be for around 1,200,000 Ugandan shillings, or lesser than that, around 1 million Ugandan shillings. Then on top of that, you have to look into decoration, because a boutique will sell, or you will be able to make profits and sell your goodies according to how your place looks like, the interior decor of the place. So I would also count for that one around 1 million Ugandan shillings, because some of these days people have ventured into interior designers, especially here in the country. We have them, a lot of them on Instagram, but also you can look into getting all these other things, and you find a labor at a very, very cheaper price, especially for painting the room, putting in wallpapers, buying amazing shelves, where you're going to be packaging the different clothings and all that, buying manicures, buying those different amazing glass boxes which are transparent, people can watch in the goodies. I think those ones you can get them at Mutasa Cafe, because there are very, very many there, and also in Katwe at around 200 or 300,000 Ugandan shillings. So that is the simple calculation that I can divide for you, that 5 million Ugandan shillings. And on top of that, you have to remain with some amazing working money, if that makes sense, such as money for water and electricity for that place, and also money for added things, because as businesses, you always need to have some ground working capital. So I think in my own option, I've ever done a business for boutique, and it worked so well. I was working in Chigungu. I think I'll leave the playlist up here. You can go watch that. But it was such an amazing place. I was able to make a profit of something like 65% for the time I spent there in Chigungu in 2020. So boutique, it is one option that I can literally guarantee you that you will work, and you will work. So you can also venture into selling children's clothing. You can venture in selling women clothing, men clothing. But again, I'll put you in a contest that women clothing, they move or work more profit than any other gender, because as you know, women clothing, looking good, it's one of the requirements that the world moves on, you know. So just look into that. Yes. Okay, so the second business that I would really recommend to you guys, it is restaurants. Yes, starting up a restaurant, or you can divide this restaurant into either a cafe or a local food restaurant, you know. Here I would say that international food restaurants, they work, but they cannot work very good, especially for you, a person who have worked out of the country back into your country, like selling local foods. People have to feed every day. People have to feed every day. And before I go into the local section, I think I want to talk about the cafe first. Here we are currently, as a country, Uganda, we are trying our best to see that we are competing on a very good note with our neighbors, such as Kenya, such as Tanzania, such as all those other, you know, countries in the East African region, you know. And these are some of the things that we are trying to catch up with, or to cope up with, you know. Cafes have not been so common in the country, but I've started seeing cafes randomly around Seguku, around Zana, around Kajansi, around Wandegea. And gone are the days when we felt like cafes were for very high-end people. So you can venture into that, you know, with around 5 million Ugandan shillings, get a place, do the down payment for around 1 million, because every month the landlord might want something like 200, 300, 350,000 Ugandan shillings. And on top of that, the furniture, the interior decor of the place might also run you for around 700 to 600 Ugandan shillings. And on top of that, for cafes, labor is a must. So you have to get people who are qualified in making good food, good snacks, you know, good coffee, good milk tea, good snacks, cookies, and all that. And lastly, I think I can also right now talk about the local restaurants. You know, you can also decide to open up a local restaurant, get a very strategic location with good with a good number of working people. You know, pay the down payment, because that is 3 months. On top of that, get that place, the interior part of that place, very good, painted, having all those other amazing lights and all that. Then furniture, tables, and all that. Then lastly, the utensils that you're going to be using, and labor. So restaurant, you might also not use like 5 million Ugandan shillings. For restaurant, you might use around 3 million Ugandan shillings to start up the business. And I think it's also a very good business, and I've seen it work in a lot of different ways. You can get food to cook from a lot of different markets, because here, if you don't know, our backbone is agriculture. So, or at least every home, at least every 10 houses that you count in Uganda, one of them or 3 of them, they have a garden, you know. Yes, so food is not very expensive. You can grab it from either Nakasero market, from Wandegea market, from Owino market, which is the biggest market around Uganda. And I think it's also a very good business to start up with, because food, a plate of food might go for around and I think that is reasonable money if you sell like 10 plates of local food a day, because you would be in something like 45,000 Ugandan shillings. So currently, I want to talk about the third business that I feel like you have to venture in, especially when you have the skills. I'm talking about saloon. Guys, saloon is one business that is very underlooked, especially in the country, because at least I just feel like, because we are Africans and people they tend to know how to style their hair, they tend to have people who know how to do their hair and all that. But saloons, it's another important business that not a lot of people talk about, and yet it yields a lot of profit. So I'll try to take you through the steps. Get a strategic location. Pay the down payment for 3 months. That's around the place might be around 300, 400. I'm throwing around 300 and 400 because I know that is the standard place for a strategically located place that is going to have a lot of customers. So get that place, do that down payment. On top of that, do the interior decoration is very, very important for any business. That might also run you for around 700 to 600, getting mirrors, getting wallpapers and all that other stuff. Then you are going to spend something like 1 million, not only 1 million, around 2 million Ugandan shillings just buying different supplies, dryers, chairs, sinks, and all those other stuff that you know that are always in a saloon. Then you just get people who are going to work into it, like 2 people, they are enough. And I think it is one business that people underlook because not a lot of people have explained to them how the business works. Yes, not a lot of people have explained to them how the business works, but I've been there. I've also worked in a saloon before, and I know that it's one business that can yield money every day. So if you have the skills, especially twist, you can also venture into that business, not a dark chair. You can also venture into that business. That business might work for you. I swear upon the living God. And especially when you get customers who are consistent and they know that what you are doing is good, or what your workers what they are doing is good, they are always going to return, and they always return with other people abantu abalala bakomawo abantu abalala ne basobola okuba nti they are boosting your business in one way or another. You guys, actually, I want to talk about the 4th business. This is starting up a grocery store. Yes, a duka. So you might start up a grocery store for fruits, akatari omudala. I think because the way how we feel like society sees us is one limiting factor to how we can succeed. I've learned that over time. But omudala gukola nago chiralu, because every day people have to feed, people have to buy ebisika enva, ebisika ebikole tungulu nyanja. People have to buy those things every day. So when I look critical for a person who's having less than 5 million Ugandan shillings, and you know what you want, I think a grocery store, especially for fruits and veggies, it's one option that you have to look into. Because at the end of the day, you are going to be able to sell goodies every day. As long as you get a strategic location, do the down payment. The down payment of such midala might take you for around 150 to something like 250,000 Ugandan shillings. So you also look into that. You get the strategic location. You get someone to, of course, build for you a standard modala. A standard market, how it actually looks like, shelves of the market. And on top of that, you go out and you buy these different things from our main markets, no subula, nyanya, butungulu, bichi. And that business, it can grow, and you can literally wonder, you can grow that even you can get workers to help you in that business so that it can literally continue, developing and growing. Then on top of that, if you cannot be able to do amdala, you can do a grocery store. Yes, you can do a grocery store, though I can advise a grocery store not on 100%, because being in a family where my mother and my father have been in these things of groceries since 1998, I think 1998 to something like 2016. Yes, I think to 2016. It's not something that I can recommend, especially when you don't have a very, very strict way of calculating the business, because at the end of the day you might end up having more debts than the interests you are making. But again, businesses and money, it goes to people who risk. I can also tell you to start up that if you are very, very vigilant about how you are, investing, into these things they use at home, basic needs, salt, and all those other stuff. When you are very vigilant, I think you can also manage that business. And also, it doesn't require over 5 million Uganda shillings. No, as long as you get a place where you're going to be able to get your duka ready, you get the interior decoration ready, they put into your shelves where you're going to be laying the different things, you get some deep freezers and fridges to keep in the cold goods, or the cold drinks and things that might go bad, milk and all that, electricity and water and all those other things. I think you are very, very good to go. Then lastly, guys, I think we can talk about farming. Farming is very, very important, and it's one thing that I cannot finish up this vlog in particular without talking about. I know a lot of you, especially Bakadama and Sekadama, you have bought your pieces of land around Kampala, around Mitiana, around Masaka, around those different places. At the end of the day, I cannot advise you to come back at home and sell that piece of land. Yes, I don't advise that. But what I can advise is that you can, either oyinza oddiwola omuntu nabanga alimirako. If you cannot do that kulima, oyinza oddikola ki, oddiwola omuntu nabanga alirimirako. Oba you can even, in some very narrow cases, you sell, then you can move to rural areas and you buy something bigger. And on top of that, you can also decide to farm onto that land yourself, especially growing veggies, because at least a lot of homes, they are already growing the solid food. So vegetables is one thing that I know that a lot of people do need on a daily basis. So that's why I'm talking about veggies. And you decide on growing sukuma wiki, you decide on growing all those other veggies. At the end of the day, you are going to make profits, because these different markets, they are always needing people to supply them with those goodies. And also, I really get this question a lot. Whenever I talk about farming, I think I rarely talk about rearing. But within farming, that's where you find rearing, okulunda. So you can also decide on starting to rear either poultry, cattle, goats, and all those other stuff on your piece of land or on your parents' piece of land in the village. And also, don't wait for your contract to get done so that you can come back home and start venturing into that. You can get some money and you send it to a person in trust here in Uganda. It might be your sister-in-law, because most of the time people don't trust their brothers and sisters because of the way how they squander their money. But I'll give you an option to give money to people you trust. Again, they buy you that cattle, that goat, and you know that you have a fixed liability, if that makes sense, or you have something fixed you can send at the end of the day and you get money. So it is also an option that I can really, really advise you to look into, farming and rearing, especially when you are back or when you are planning to come back and settle here. You guys, as I actually come to the conclusion of this vlog, I want to say, try to make sure that you do your research. This video is just enlighten you or tell you something small about the information I have as a citizen who's staying here 24/7, year in, year out. But I really, really advise you to make your research before you invest in a business. Businesses are fragile, because the more the research you make, the more the chances that your business will succeed, if that makes sense. Because through research, I believe that you will be able to learn about a lot of different things of how you are going to handle your business, if that makes sense. So let me know in the comment section below, or sound off in the comment section below, of what you feel and which different business ideas that you feel like Bakadama and Basekadama can start up in the country when they are back from their contracts, especially in Saudi Arabia and all those other countries. So thank you very much for watching this vlog. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. If you have not watched my cost of living video in the country, I'm gonna be leaving it up here. Hopefully you can go watch that immediately after this. Kenyan Shylock switching out. Bye for now.